Welcome, Hampshire chemistry students, to the final video in our acid reactions section. Okay, we're going to be looking and continuing with our number 43 here, and we're going to be going down and looking at how we're going to be writing the balanced chemical equation with not just the formulas like above, but with the actual words instead. So we're going to need to practice our acid naming as well as all of our other skills. So let's try out one of the ones on the back together. I want to look at this first one at the top here. And we've got hydrofluoric acid reacts with sodium carbonate to create, well, we're going to find that out together. So first step, let's figure out what our formulas are. A sodium carbonate should be the easy one. A sodium is a Na, and we know that has a positive 1 charge. Carbonate, that's one of our polyatomic ions. That's CO3 with a -2 charge. Again, are you writing with me right now? We should both be writing and taking notes together to make sure that you are an active participant in this video. So the formula of these two is going to be very simply NaCO3, and of course we're going to need 2 sodiums to balance out that carbonate. Now the trickier part, let's look at our acid. We have hydrofluoric acid. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up our handy-dandy rhymes. I stole these from my friend Frankenstein, and hopefully I remember to give it back to him. But what I'm going to look through is our 3 different rhymes to help me remember what these different acid names mean. Right off the bat, I see hydro. So we have a hydrofluoric. So that tells me that this acid, if it has the hydro name, the ion as part of it had to come from IDE. So fluoric had to be fluoride. Okay, fluoride is very simple. That's just F on your P table. So we have an F with a -1 charge as our anion, and of course it's an acid. So we're going to need to have a hydrogen, and that is a +1 charge. Okay, so let's write the formula for our acid here, and boom, boom, and we have HF, hydrofluoric acid. Okay, these two are going to be balanced because of that +1 and -1. And hey, notice now that we've written our formulas, it's the exact same thing as the front side. And we're going to be following our patterns to help us create and predict our products. Okay? So I have hydrogen, I have an acid for my hydrofluoric, and then Na2CO3. Right off the bat, we have a carbonate. Okay? So we can check and see that our carbonates are always, of course, going to make the 3 products of water, carbon dioxide, and then that salt. So let's go ahead and write that out. I don't even have to think about the first 2 because they are water, H2O, carbon dioxide, CO2, and now I have to take a second and think because I need to look back at my salt. Who is my metal? Who is my non-metal that has not been used yet? Okay, the H's went to make our water, so they're not going to count, but hey, F, I don't see any F's on the right side yet. That's going to be, we could use that. Okay. We haven't used any sodiums yet, okay? But we have used our carbons and our oxygens to make these guys. So our salt is going to be a combination of sodium and fluorine. And I can tell you a quick common mistake I'll see people do is they're like, oh, this is Na2, I'm going to put a 2 here, but nope. We got to remember that sodium is a +1, fluorine, that's a -1. I wouldn't need any subscripts here to make this work. So we have Na, sodium fluoride, as our salt here. So lastly, we've checked our compounds, we've made our patterns, we just need to balance. Okay? So right off the bat, I see that I have 2 hydrogens over here on the right with the water, and I only have 1 on the left. So let's fix that. Let's put a 2 out in front. And now, of course, that now means I need this 2 not just affects the hydrogens, but also affects the fluorines. So I'm going to need to have a 2 out in front of the fluorines. Remember, we don't put subscripts to balance, we put coefficients. But that also affects the sodium. But hey, look, sodium is already taken care of with this subscript on the left. And then I have the carbons and the oxygens all totaling up and balancing, and we're done. Okay? So as long as you follow your naming, don't forget your different rhymes and your rules for your acids. Okay? This is going to be crucial as you're going through and naming things like sulfurous acid, acetic acid, and so on. Okay? Lastly, of course, there is the review. This is all stuff we've been doing before. I would hope that you would take, if you finish all of your names, you'd be working through these with some pH examples as well as some indicator examples. You will see questions like both of these on your quiz tomorrow. So, this is our example. Okay? Make sure that you've got it written down and that you can be successful going forward and finishing the rest of our sheets. I'll see you guys tomorrow.